Now, up next on VOP, the federal government has said again it wants to create 1 million digital jobs. But how soon and where will they come from? That's the big question. All right, without wasting further time, we do know that Vice President Kashim Shettima has disclosed that the federal government has finalized plans to create 1 million jobs for young Nigerians. Now, Shettima stated this on Monday while playing host to a delegation from the Republic of Korea, led by the special envoy to the president, Yang Sung-min, at the State House in Abuja. He canvassed for collaboration with the Republic of Korea towards achieving the goal of digital training of youths. Now, he said 75% of Nigerians were below the age of 35. He noted that a partnership and support in digital skills training would be a great project. The vice president reiterated Nigeria's commitment to strengthening relations with Republic of Korea, especially in promoting trade, technology transfer, and maintaining global peace. He also assured the Korean government of the Tinubu administration's commitment to partner with Korea to strengthen relations with both countries, especially balancing the trade deficit between the two countries. He assured the Korean delegation that President Bola Tinubu will honor the invitation of his Korean counterpart to the Africa-Korea Summit in 2024. Earlier, in his remarks, the special envoy of the President of the Republic of Korea, His Excellency Yoon Sung-yeol, Mr. Jang Sung-min, congratulated Nigeria for successfully inaugurating the new government. He also conveyed a special invitation from President Yoon to his Nigerian counterpart Tinubu to attend the forthcoming Africa-Korea Summit in South Korea. Now, the envoy restated his country's continued support for Nigeria across different sectors, noting that Korea's collaboration with Nigeria can lead the fourth industrial revolution, maintaining that the country's development is akin to Nigeria's development. Well, John, 1 million digital jobs. It's not the first time that we're hearing. It's not the first time that we're hearing. That jobs will be created. We've heard this conversation, over time from the previous administration. But here we are, 1 million digital jobs now. Is this a case of dreaming big, or a reality already within our reach? What do you think?
I think when I hear some of these things, it just seems to me as if I'm hearing manifestos, political manifestos again. And after campaign, when they win election, I don't see anything. Okay, the former minister of digital economy, must have made some other pronouncements such as this before, saying that they're going to create millions of jobs. And after 8 years down the line, how many jobs actually created in that sector? That's a question that should be answered, But looking at this new administration coming up to say they want to create 1 million jobs, I think we should be careful of what we say to Nigerian people because they are taking notes. And then we should also be careful when we are dealing with international counterparts because these are people who, take their words so seriously. And even if by 4 years down the line, you're not able to create 1 million jobs in this administration, then do you think your Korea counterpart will trust your words again? They won't. And so I think we must be careful when we make pronouncements, but we must look at what are those factors that would help us create these jobs in this digital economy. What are the infrastructures that we need? Look at the issue of NCC, your 5G, internet penetration in Nigeria. Surmount that issue. Look at the issue of power. We don't surmount that issue. And you're talking about economy. Digital economy cannot run on a generator, for God's sake. It can't. Even buying fuel, 550 naira per liter now. So how do you want to create 1 million jobs in that digital economy? They will get the skills and then they will go and run generator again? No, it doesn't work that way. Okay? So you must look at some of the key things that will make these things work. One is light, power supply. you must have 24 hours electricity. So, which means you must look at your generation, you must look at your distribution, you must look at your transmission. And these are some of the areas I think we need to, call in government, other international bodies who help. Not to say you create 1 million jobs. No, that's just to me a lip service. If you have to create 1 million jobs in the digital economy within a year, averagely you create 100,000 jobs monthly. So how many have you created since May? This is June. So I think we should have created 100,000 jobs. Now, if you're not creating 100,000 jobs, then there's no way you want to reach 1 million jobs. And so we should be careful. Rather, we should look at some of those things that will help, that will make the environment conducive for even young entrepreneurs to thrive in that sector. What do they need? They need a laptop. Okay? They need access to internet, which should be affordable. They need uninterrupted power supply. If they have these three things, I can assure you, you can't create those jobs. But back in Nigeria, I'm sure even some people have not seen light today. And I'm sure even in your own TV station now, you are running on generator. And so that is some of the inhibitors that will not allow this thing to work. And so that must be crushed first. So I think this administration should look at how they can, increase our power generation, how they can increase transmission, how they can make energy, accessible to people, in all of our cities. Then can you now say, okay, you can have technological hubs all across. And I think when Bill Gates came to Nigeria, apart from talking about foundations, I think he owns Microsoft. And then I think that would have been a good avenue for our leaders to, have good conversation with him and see how we can bring, more of all these Microsoft gadgets and, tools and appliances that can help, increase our digital economy and also creating employment for our young population, looking at the fact that is where they want to thrive the most. Mind you, if you look at the nearest future, 2024, 2028, 2030, there's going to be so much technology-driven deficit in the world. And Nigeria has that population to fill in this gap. But if we are not preparing now, when 2030 comes, we'll just be looking because there's no gap for us to fill. And so it's time for us to look at it. How do we get about our power generation? Are we going to, devolve power to states for states to generate their own power? Can the state also devolve power to the local government to generate their own in their own little way? Just like you have modular refineries, can we have modular generation plants where communities can generate their own, plant and then they can distribute equally? If that can be done, these are part of the ways of solving our energy crisis. And if we're able to do that, once we have constant power supply, I can assure you more businesses will come up, more people will be technological inclined, and then that 1 million jobs will not be 1 million jobs, can be 8 million jobs. But all of these infrastructures more will be put in place. You don't put the infrastructure in place, you talk 1 million jobs, after 4 years, you play back your tape to you, and you see that you have not even achieved 100,000 jobs.
All right, now you've spoken extensively, I must say. You've covered almost all the areas here. But what should Nigerians expect working with South Korea?
I think not only South Korea. So let's not focus our conversation on South Korea. What we should look at, and that is why the Ministry of Foreign Affairs should look at other countries of the world and those that are willing to lend a helping hand for us. What are their area of strength and weaknesses? Okay. So if you're looking at South Korea, what is South Korea really good in? What is that they have in abundance? What is that they can give us that it won't even, affect their own operations right there in their country? And that is what we should leverage on. So what is it that is working for them that we can have such a template here? I think that those are the things we should look at. So if you have over 24 countries, meaning that you have 24 opportunities for you to help your young population, that is what we should do. So let's look at countries based on their area of strength, area of competence, area of technological advancement, and into our own system so that we can be economically viable again. So it's not only limited to South Korea. So I'll not talk about South Korea alone, but then let it be all inclusive so that we can reach out to as many world advanced countries, as many world leaders who are really, looking out to stretching hands out and their hands to us. And then we should take those hands and then look at it. So if you have a country like Thailand, you have a country like Japan, who have a of doing rice plantation, land in Nigeria. So why can't we have Ministry of Agriculture, having a collaboration with Japan Ministry of Agriculture and see how we can work things out in terms of planting rice, and how you can convert all of those forests into farmlands. These are areas I think we should do. And by the time we start doing all of that, so that we are creating millions of jobs, not only on paper, but on ground. And we must be realistic at this point in time.
All right, then. Now, South Korea has invited Nigeria to attend the Africa Korea Summit in 2024, and the vice president has assured the South Korean envoy that Nigeria will attend that one. Now, when that time comes and Nigeria attends, what do you think the president should put forward? What are the things that he should, put forward in selling Nigeria to selling Nigeria at the summit?
I think one of our selling points, and you can't take that away from us, in the whole of the world, we are the country with the highest youthful population. There's no other country that can withstand Nigeria in terms of that strength. I'm able to say we are the most populous black nation. If we are the most populous black nation and we have over 65% of our population under 35, which means that we have a youthful population and a very bright future. And so, the point that, okay, we have a young population who can, take care of all aspects of jobs, agriculture, in terms of technology, in terms of AI, in terms of in terms of engineering, construction, filmmaking, creative industry. We have our young people who are amazing. In terms of sport, entertainment, we have our young people who are blazing. And so that should be a selling point, that we have young people who have this non-resilient spirit, who are just there, who are dogmatic, who are hardworking, and that if we want to do exchange of knowledge, in what area will Korea be partnering with us? So what is that is working for them, that's making them a leading or a developed country that we as an underdeveloped can learn from? And so these are areas we must look at how we can collaborate. What can we have schools, student exchange programs, okay, where our engineering students can go to Korea to learn probably for 1 year or 2 years before they finish their 4-year course in Nigeria? Can we start in place? Can we look at their agricultural sector? How do they plant? Okay, and how long does it take? What kind of seed do they use? What are the process of their planting? These are areas we can look at. How do they also have their own collaboration with other countries of the world, either even in Africa, in Asia, in Europe, or in the Middle East? And how are they coping? Some of we need to look at. Let's just look at what is working for them and look at how we can tap into what is working for them, how we can bring that back home, replicate it, and make sure that our youthful population are adequately engaged and is bouncing back stronger and better. That is the only way to go, if truly we are sincere with ourselves.
All right, then. 1 million jobs, they say. We do know that Nigerians know their way around the digital space already, albeit we've been touted for using it wrongly. We've been touted for internet crimes and other things. Well, I will also say Nigerians are not the only ones that do these things. It's just that it's a stain on the image of Nigeria. But now, can you give us a picture of where you think Nigeria can be in tech in the next 10 years, if tech is fully optimized in Nigeria? Where do you think we will be?
I think we'll be running after India in terms of tech.
Okay.
So look at it. If you are looking for software developers and you want to have a good job, my dear, please go to India. You have them in their hundreds of thousands, software developers. And as a matter of fact, India is one of the biggest countries that exports their, technology driven youths, in terms of human resource. They export their own human resource. And that is what Nigeria should take a clue from. So if Nigeria, imagine a 90 million people, young people who are technological savvy. Imagine what will happen to the whole of Africa. It means that you have Nigerians having technological hub in Kenya, in Nairobi, in Tanzania, in Ghana, in Ouagadougou, in Guinea-Bissau. And if we are able to do that, we also have subset of hubs who have training centers across Africa. And that is where we are really standing as the true giant of Africa. And so Africa is waiting for Nigeria to stand. Once Nigeria stands, Africa stands. And we must understand that we have big responsibility on our shoulders as leaders and as brothers. And so if the Nigerian youth get it right through tech, I can assure you it will spread around the whole of Africa. And from there, we can now compete with the likes of Indians and then export our talent all across the globe.
All right, then. I must say a very big thank you to you, John Akerele, for staying with us. We dragged this a little bit because I just wanted to get all your thoughts out there. Thank you very much once again, John.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.
All right, then. Well, we're done with the conversation, but we are not done with the show yet. We still have business, entertainment, and sports. Now, going straight into the world of business, President Bola Tinubu's administration inherited 38 uncompleted road projects worth 979 billion naira from the Muhammadu Buhari government. The projects were identified through an analysis of the 2023 budget and cross-checked with the National Monitoring and Evaluation Platform, IMAC, which was launched by Buhari in December last year. Well, VOP TV business findings report that despite assurances from the former president to ensure the completion of the roads before the end of his tenure, several key road networks were left half done due to low revenue and other challenges. One of the critical projects is the expansion of the Abuja-Kefi dual carriageway and the dualization of the Kefi-Akwanga Lafia-Makodi Road in Nasarawa State. Now, other other key projects that have yet to be completed include the Benue State Phase 1, Lafia Bypass, and 9th Mile, Enugu-Otukpo Makodi Road in Enugu and Benue States phases, Phase 2, which reportedly cost about 32.5 billion naira. Also on the list is the rehabilitation of the Ikorodu-Shagamu Road, including the access road to Mosimi in Lagos State at the cost of 100 million naira, and the full scope development of Federal Capital Territory Highway, that's 105 Kuje Road from the Airport Expressway to the Outer Southern Expressway with SPOR at Kiyama District, valued at 54.95 billion naira. The dualization of Akure Ado-Ekiti Road in Ondo-Ekiti States was put at 90 billion naira. Moving away from that to another business story now. The National Commissioner for the Nigeria Data Protection Bureau, Dr. Vincent Olatunji, has kicked against the regulation of the Central Bank of Nigeria mandating financial institutions to obtain social media handles, among other data, of customers. He described the collection of such data as unnecessary, noting that the Commission has written to the Apex Bank. He noted that if the CBN wants to use such data on the public interest as a regulator to monitor financial transactions, there are guidelines to follow. One of such guidelines include informing the customers and stating the purpose. However, he noted that ideally that should not happen, and they are engaging the CBN on this. All right, so that's what we have for business. We'll go on a break now. When we come back, we'll have Kayla Abraham join us for entertainment, and then we'll also have sports. All right, so stay with us. We'll be back in a bit.